crafters, and welcome to Creative Moments by G. I'm Georgia, and we are so happy to be here to share some inspiration about something we love, paper crafting. If you are with us live tonight, it's Thursday, February 3rd at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. We hope that you hop on, chat, and let us know where you're from. Maudie, my sister, is in the chat room, and she just is there to chat with you and see how everybody is doing. And I'm going to go ahead and look at this real quick. My goodness, I see Joan is here. Welcome. I see Stampin' Cuddles. Let's see who else we have. We have Pat Williams. We have Ann. Welcome, welcome, ladies. We are so happy that you are with us tonight. My goodness. We hope you take just a moment to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done that, because that signals to YouTube to push out our video to other crafters just like you, and it helps grow our channel, and we just love that so much. So if you could do that for us, we'd certainly appreciate it. I'm just going to hop on over here for a second and see if we are broadcasting over to Facebook, because we're supposed to be broadcasting, and last time I missed a couple of our people, so I can never see exactly what's going on over on Facebook. But we love YouTube because we can always see what's happening. We are so excited about tonight's card. Now, we know that not everybody has embossing folders. We understand that, but we bet that most people have stencils, right? And why? Because they're so inexpensive. You can actually buy a pack of stencils with 4 in it for $8. That's pretty darn good. What if we show you how to turn your stencil into an embossing folder? We take a stencil that's so-so and we make it wow. That's what we're going to do tonight. So we are very excited to be able to share that with you. Now, I want to remind you that all the materials will be listed below this video, and you don't have to take down the measurements because they will be over on creativemomentsbyg.com. All you have to do is click on the blog. So we want you just to sit back, relax, enjoy the night. Let's head down to the crafting table and let's get started. Just need to add one little thing here. And I noticed that some people are having some good weather, but we have some others who are having quite the storm. And our prayers go out to all those people that are experiencing terrible snowstorms and ice storms. Oh my goodness. As Maudie said, we are having pretty good weather. So we are very excited about this. And the first thing I want to show you is, let me show you the card that we're going to be making. Now it's going to be a little bit different. We're actually going to stencil one mat, but we're going to make 2 cards. How about that for a bargain? Now I want you to look at this. Can you see that part is actually raised? That is from a stencil. That's right. Oh, yes. So the first thing you're going to need to do is get your base card, and we're just going to take a plain white card, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and then we're going to have some mats on the inside. And as you can tell, I love purple, so we're going to be working with purple tonight. And let me show you the tools that we're going to be working with. We have these beautiful colors. We're going to be working with Gorgeous Grape, Rich Razzleberry, one of my favorites, right? And Old Olive and Garden Green. We're also going to be working with these stamp sets. Now remember, you can use any stamp set that you have. This is just a technique that you can use with any stamp set. We're going to pick up a little sentiment here from the Awesome Otters, and then we're using these beautiful dahlia flowers that we love. We're also going to be using our rectangle stitched dies. I love these. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take out our stencil and we're going to take out a mat. Now here's your first tip. Get a spritzer, and you want to make sure that you have a spritzer that really sprays a fine mist, because this is not watercolor paper, this is just regular cardstock, and we are just simply going to spritz it with some water. And the reason we're doing that is so that it will break down those fibers and it gives a deeper imprint when you run it through your cut and emboss machine. Now the second tip I want to give you is lay your stencil down and take some painter's tape. And we want to create a hinge. And this will really keep it where it needs to be, and you don't have to worry about it moving around. So we're just going to lift that up and kind of fold it over. Okay, now what we're going to do is bring in our cut and emboss machine. It's still damp, and whatever machine you have, you'll just find the right plates for you. Now, one of the things we picked up is we have an embossing pad, and this is a Sizzix embossing pad. So we have our plate, we lay down our embossing pad, then we lay down our mat with our stencil, we lay down another plate, and then we cut a thick piece of cardboard and we lay it right over. This gives us that extra shim to really push it through. So we're just going to run it through. And I'm going to take a moment and just run it through one more time. You don't have to do that, but I want to do that. Now, one of the reasons that you put that hinge on top is so that it stays in place. Your stencil. So we are going to simply take this up, move this to the side, and we're just going to take a quick sneak. Oh my goodness. Can you see that? Isn't that pretty? Now, before you start stenciling on top of this, you have to make sure you dry it. So let's go ahead and take this and go ahead and just kind of lightly go over it to dry the paper. Just use your embossing tool because you don't want the colors to run. Just make sure, give it a light once over. Okay. Now you can tell also that it embossed it on this side, right? Look at that. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we have this right here. Now I'm going to go ahead and just take another piece of tape and put that down right there so that I make sure it doesn't move. Just lay that down. Now notice that I cut this mat bigger than what I need because I'm going to go back in and then trim it as if it was a first mat on the card. So I'm going to bring in this gorgeous grape, and I have one of my blending tools. Just going to load it up. And gorgeous grape isn't very dark, so we're just going to come in and go over. Now, another tip for you is when you get to a point where you have most of it colored, bring in a Post-it note. And that way you can protect your fingers and not get inky fingers so they're not all a mess. So we're just going to go over, and I'm going to go over some of it a little bit darker. Takes just a moment, and I'm using a heavy hand on this, so that's why it's taking a little longer. And this is so pretty. So now you have two ways to use your stencils. You can use them as embossing folders, but also as stencils. That's pretty good. Okay, so I see, I can't really see that name. Is it Jill? Welcome. Okay, we're just going to go over in circular motions. And you just keep blending and blending. Let's see, I'm going to turn my paper just a little bit. Put my little pad down so I don't get those inky fingers. And just use your circular motion to go over. What's great about this is the way we're going to cut this, it's going to make 2 cards. So I really like that. And I believe Joan asked, is anybody out there making cards? Well, we were definitely playing with cards today. It's a nice cold day. Okay, move this to the side. Just going to lift that up and peek under there. Oh, so pretty. Now I'm just going to take this off very carefully. And just put it to the side in case I need it again. And look at that. Now, I don't know if you can see the embossed area, but what we're going to do now is after we have colored it, we're going to run one more time, run it through the machine just to give us that raised impression one more time. So let's go ahead and get our plates. We have our main one, we have our embossing pad, and if you don't have an embossing pad, you can go below the video and I have a link on Amazon that they have an embossing pad. I think it costs, I'm not sure, maybe $12. We're going to put the other plate on, and where in the world, oh, there it is. I'm like, where's my plate? Okay, so we have our sandwich, and we're adding a heavy piece of cardstock just as an extra shim to make it a little heavier. We're going to run that through. And that will just give it some extra depth. So let's take that off. And there we have it. Look at this. So pretty. Really raises it up. So now we're going to do one more. This time we're going to use an embossing folder because half of the card is going to be an embossing folder. So we're going to go ahead and run that through. And we are using this cute little dots embossing folder. So let's go ahead and just get that run through just like this. And just line it up. And now this time we use a different sandwich. We do not need our embossing pad. And we just run it through. And this is just to give half of the card some extra texture that you'll be able to see. So now we're going to do one more card because we have 2 cards that we want to emboss today. So we're just going to run that through one more time, and then we'll start creating our card. Okay, I think we are through with our cut and emboss machine. So now we just have to make some cuts. So we're going to go ahead and take this piece of tape off. Just pull the hinge apart. And like I said, we created a larger mat than what we needed for this very reason, because the tape went right in there, which is fine. Just going to pull that apart. And now this is going to be our first mat. So our measurement's going to be 5 1/4 by 4. So we're going to cut a little bit off here so we can kind of see what we need. Let's get that cut. We're going to put this at 5 1/4. And since we're making 2 cards, we know that our measurement is going to be, let's see, we need 4 on the side. So let's cut that down to 4. And we know we need it to be 3 inches by 4 inches, and then the other piece will be 2 1/4. So let's go ahead and cut our 3-inch first. And we should have 2 1/4 left. Exactly 2 1/4. Okay, now on this one, we're going to need, let's see, 2 1/4 and 4. Let's see, let's get this cut. We already have our 4, so we're going to do 2 1/4. And we just need one that is 3 by 4. So we almost have all the pieces all ready. Now remember I said we're using rich razzleberry. We're going to bring in just a strip of rich razzleberry as we put our card together. So let's start putting our card together and see how pretty this is. Okay, so our first one, we are going to put it on the top just like this. And then we have the smaller embossed card that we're going to put a strip on right there. So let's go ahead and do that. And remember I said we're going to use those beautiful dahlias to decorate the front. But let's go ahead and lay down our mats on our card. And what's so nice about this, turning it into an embossing folder, is you probably have some stencils that you really like, and now you know how to put them through the machine and raise up that and turn it into an embossing folder. So we're going to go ahead and put that strip right there, and then we will have it ready to just start working on our flower. So here is our first outside of our card. Okay, so now we're going to take our other base card, since we're making 2 out of 1 mat, which is so nice. And this time we're going to put this on the top and this one on the bottom. So let's go ahead and do that. And these cards are so quick to make. So like if you have a card that you need to make very quickly for a party or for a get-together, you could do this and really impress someone, right? So we're just lining that up. We're going to lay this little strip right across the center. And stay with us to the end because we're going to show you some other embossing folders that we did, some stencils that we turned into an embossing folder, and we have another beautiful card to show you. Okay, so we have our 2 cards right here. Now we're simply going to bring in paper, and we are going to use our dahlia stamp. Now this is so pretty, and I just want to show you the difference between stamping it kind of heavy and then stamping it light. Oh, well, that's because that's the wrong color. We're supposed to use rich razzleberry. Okay, let's just turn that over and get our rich razzleberry. Now, look at the difference there in the definition. When you stamp it real heavy, which I personally like, it doesn't quite come out as defined as when you do a second generation stamp. And by that I mean stamp this one and go ahead and stamp it again. But it's so pretty. I love those rich, dark colors. Now we've already stamped our flowers to save us some time. And so we're going to go ahead and just use those. We're going to bring in our card, and I have some flowers stamped. We're going to add these right to the center. And we're going to put these up on dimensionals because we have some leaves that we want to put behind them to give it some different colors going on. So we're just going to put it right in the center because those leaves have to go right behind it. And I'm just going to see here real quick. Can't see any comments over on Facebook. Oh, hey, Susan. Susan's over on Facebook. So happy to see you. I actually can see the comments. I hope you're having some great weather down in Florida. Some of us are kind of cold, and other people are really getting hit by the rain and the ice. So we're just putting our dimensionals on there and just kind of set them up. Make sure you don't go over the card. And I'm just going to kind of set it down here and then set the other one up there. And then we're going to bring in some leaves and some of these cute little, looks like almost baby's breath that's in the stamp set. So we're just going to put a leaf right there. I'm going to use my glue. Just glue it down. I think I'll put it over, kind of over the flower. That'll raise it up. And I'll put one down here. Okay, and then I'll add the little baby's breath that we always see in our arrangements. And maybe I'll add one more. Now we still have to add our sentiment, and we went ahead and cut that out. Okay. And our sentiment is going to be, look how pretty this is. We cut using our stitched rectangles out of the rich razzleberry, and it says, "Thank you for your kindness." So we're simply going to add this using dimensionals. And then we will simply adhere it to the card. Oops, that didn't quite line up right. There we go. Get some glue on this. And center it right here. Now we like to always, on the inside, add a mat. So we're going to bring in our beautiful grape color, lay down our mat. And then of course you need your white, so you can add your sentiment. And there we have our first card. Now, this raised, you can really feel it when you have it raised like that using your stencil. Hey, Patricia. Oh my gosh, you got your 6 inches. Oh my goodness, that's not good. They had a power outage. Oh boy. Now we're going to decorate this other one. We have our dahlias, we have our leaves, but we have a different sentiment. On this one, we have just a very small sentiment, and we're just going to cut out a little single strip of it. So I think this time we're simply adding 2 flowers on this side, like that, with some dimensionals, just to change it up a little. And let's put one here. Maybe one about right there. and then start adding our leaves. Okay. And we have some information about next week's videos that I think you're going to want to hear. Let's get our little baby's breath going. Get that right there. I think I'll put one more. Right there. Okay, so I'm going to move this to the side, and I'm going to use the classic label to go ahead and just punch this out. So let's have to be very careful, line it up just right. And on this one, we're going to put it right here, and I'm going to cut off this little bit of a point. So let's just get that cut off. And I'm going to raise it up with some mini dimensionals because this is very, very small. Okay, oops, the wrong side. Let's just make sure, yep. Get another dimensional. And we're going to put one right in the middle. Okay. Take off the backing. Oops, that one just doesn't want to cooperate and let us take off the backing. Let's see, there we go. And just line this up right here. Now we're going to add the inside to this card. With our gorgeous grape. And add our sentiment page. You can always come back in and add a dahlia on the inside of this. Okay, and let's see these cards. Let me go ahead. Okay. So here we have our two cards that we made. Love, love this embossing. You may not be able to see how raised it is, but it is so nice. Now, here are the cards that we made previously. I love this melon mambo. It's so summery and so pretty. Love these flowers. And then look at this card. Now, I know that you can probably see the raised area right here. This is a stencil, and we colored it in variations of color, and we added these beautiful butterflies. Just a quick happy birthday card, but oh my goodness, anybody who loves butterflies is gonna love that. And I just wanted to show you this one. This is how we colored this one with different inks, different colors, and I don't know if you can see it raised, but oh my goodness, so pretty. We also used this stencil, and it turned out so nice. This is just so soft, and you can feel it. It's so raised. We love this technique. So, so pretty. Well, ladies, we also wanted to tell you about something next week. We shared this stencil with you tonight. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us. Next week, we're going to have pre-recorded videos on Tuesday and Thursday because we're unable to make it. But on Tuesday at 10 o'clock Mountain Time, we're going to show you how to create a card using a household item. That's right, a household item. I think you're going to like it. And then Thursday at 7 p.m., we're going to have a card challenge. We're making a card, and then we challenge you to make a version of it. You have to use the technique, but you can use any stamp set you want and post your card over on Facebook before we meet again, which will be Tuesday, February 15th, the day after Valentine's Day. So we'll meet you then. So our card challenge on Thursday, use the technique and use whatever stamp set you want. And the person that's randomly selected is going to get to choose from 3 fantastic stamp sets and then any card that they want from the card challenge that we create. Oh my goodness, right? So exciting. Well, we thank you so much for watching our session tonight. My goodness, we love our crafters who tune in for some inspiration. And we want you to remember, please go, as you go out into the world, be kind to yourself and others. Be creative in your crafting. We will see you February 15th for our next YouTube Live. We hope you join us on the card challenge. We want you to go out and have a fantastic weekend. We hope that everybody starts having great weather. We're going to go ahead and say a little prayer for everyone so that everyone has good weather. Ladies, thank you so much. Go out and have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you on February 15th, but we will have our videos up next week. Take care.